It's Alysia, Nora, and Macy on our little green couch.
Ready to talk weekly gossip from behind the chair.
Have a drink or 10 and get ready for the journey.
Join us on the floor with Little Fern. We're on.
It's another Wednesday. It's been a while, guys. We had 2 spring breaks. Alysia went to Belize. I went to Panama City Beach, and we're back.
That felt like the spring break outro, like wow wow wow, like when you're like wow wow wow, yeah, like the
I don't know
like
what
when
you're
you're at the
talking
club
about.
and it's like
Oh yes.
bam bam bam, and then, like,
Yeah.
That's kind of been the energy in here today. It's been very spring break like. People are just rolling up today.
There was a party going on here. It was exhausting, but like in the best way.
They were getting wild. So we hope that you have your drinks with you right now.
I preemptively opened mine. I have Loverboy, half and half.
I got my Truly vodka.
I have Loverboy Part 2, but it's pineapple hibiscus, and it's pretty good.
I like the Loverboys.
I've only had, I think, like a green and pink can.
The white tea one. That one's my favorite.
Those are good.
This is my first time having a Loverboy, and it's good. I can't complain. I really do like the packaging. It's super pretty and fun. And yeah, the design is really doing it for me.
That's what got me on the first ones is the can was like such a pretty combination of colors, and they were pretty good.
You know what got me on it? Summer House. I'm a Bravo girl. I'm a Bravo B-rate show watcher for anyone out there. So I've been watching Kyle and Amanda.
It's been a good day though. We had some people rolling up in here. I just feel like we've really turned into like a halfway house or something. Like I don't know what's going on, but it's like in the most positive way ever.
Because we're halfway from your daughter's house to your house when you're watching your grandchildren, I guess.
Exactly. So, I mean, I'm sure we've talked about Nan before, right?
Definitely.
She just rolled up in here today.
She was the last roll up, remember? Oh, in the TikTok. Just kidding.
Yeah. She rolled up today. I came out and I heard her talking to Nora. I thought that she was like maybe wanting to get in for like an appointment because sometimes she just rolls up.
She was.
Okay. And she was like, oh, okay, well, that's fine, but I'm just gonna get a glass of wine. And I was like, oh, okay, I did not pour her the glass of wine. She got the glass on her own. She was drinking it. She was hanging out. She even came to the back at one point and grabbed some chips. Didn't even ask, but that's okay because that's the vibe that we have going on here. It was that kind of day.
We want you to feel so comfortable that you do come in like this is your extended home. We are a safe house.
Kind of like Weezer and Shelby from Steel Magnolias.
Yes, I say that, but then at the same time, we don't take everyone.
We only take we're very selective.
Yes.
Are we like bitches?
I realized as I said it that I was like, ooh, no, don't say that.
If you're already in, you're in. But if you're not already in
past episodes, we have talked about how people come in here and we're like, please leave if you don't have an appointment.
So now I'm realizing how hypocritical that sounds. No, I feel like we need to back that up. We create a very inviting space. However, we can't have any Jane Doe off the street just come and warm their hands up by the fire.
But they have tried before. Do we speak about that? Episode 1?
Yes, they have.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have talked about the lady who came in here and sat on the couch.
Yes. But I'm just saying, and we've allowed it, though. We allow it. We don't just shush you away with a broom, till you're awkward, till it's awkward. But what we're saying is we do want this to be treated kind of like you're mom's, the cool mom's house. We're a cool mom.
We're the cool kids' house. Oh, I'm not like a regular mom. I'm a cool mom, you know?
So, like, come on in, take a load off, get some alcohol,
Tell us about your whole day.
whatever bevy you might need, and just find room if there's room. Like, if we're too hustle and bustling and there's not like space for that or the energy's not right, then maybe that's not the time. But if the energy's correct and we have space and we're all feeling it, and 9 out of 10, you're going to know the person next to you getting serviced. And that's a lot of what ends up happening is like they walk in and then they're like, oh shit, like, it's so and so. And then they're catching up and they're chit chatting. And so that's a lot of what happens. So she comes in today, takes a load off, kicks back, is chit chatting with who I'm doing, who's somebody we used to work with. So it's just like a vibe that is, as Nan rattled off, Steel Magnolias, because then we all started gossiping about somebody not here at the salon, and then everyone wanted to be involved in said gossip. So
Because everybody's heard about this person at the salon, you know, by word of mouth. And so we all, like everybody who fits in here, we're all mega gossipers, okay? That doesn't mean we're perfect. We always end the conversation with, well, that's none of my business, you know, but like that's how things work here. People want to know what's the hot gossip, what is going on with that person that came in who hasn't been in a while, but they're kind of weird, and we're going to talk about it.
what's new on your block is what we get a lot. Like what's new on your block? What's going on around here? What's happening? And we all want to know. We are all nosy. We are nosy neighbor. We're like the neighborhood watch of our little nook, and people want to know everyone else's business.
Recently, it's been the 2 restaurants around the corner from us. There's a new chef and there's a new owner. At one of like each one has their own new thing. And so the hot goss is like, what's going on with chef? What's going on with new owner? Also, I took a screenshot about today on
We really did get another perspective of this man. Remember, guys, let's rewind back to that episode where I had a very, very weird experience at a business around the corner, all right? We had a very different conversation with a person who knows this person, and it's actually very, very admirable and likes this person. And so it was a very different perspective. It was very interesting to hear about it. I don't think you were here.
Oh, there was like a callback to and they loved it.
Because he's working at the now.
skirt. I heard from one of my clients when we were gossiping a couple weeks ago, because she frequents both places, is that suddenly he was bartending at the and that he was not asked to come back to
Oh.
the other place. And then so we were like, I immediately when he was in here, I was like, you gotta tell me about.
Well, yeah, we prefaced this even before she came in. Me and Nora were like, we have to get the tea on this. Like, she knows what's going on. She works there. She is like a server at this establishment.
Come to find out, she was like, he's so sweet. He just likes to hug and be kind to everybody, but he does have a lot going on. And so like Macy was trying to explain what happened, and she's like, oh, because at first she was very taken aback by us being like, he was crazy. But
She was very, very defensive of him. And to be fair, I get it. But at the same time, I'm like, do you actually know him?
in the end, she basically explained the manic person that we witnessed.
Like, I think she literally was just like a very empathetic person, because at the end of the day, everything that I said is everything that she was like, oh, yeah, that's correct. And I'm like, so I'm not crazy.
So in the end, he is manic. It's just that like it's known that
I think
he's
it's also
manic
like
now?
we said, she's just a more caring and empathetic person. And I'm not saying I'm not empathetic.
she knows him more closely. So like she feels the love.
So she feels justified in his behavior then.
No, that wasn't even what she was
Well, because
describing
even when
to
I was
us.
saying like he was like trauma dumping, she was like, oh, that's weird. And I was like, well, yeah, it's fucking weird. I don't want to hear about how your dad abused you when I'm going for casual drinks on a fucking Wednesday night. Like, Jesus Christ.
She said, oh yeah, he does say that to me.
Like, that is not correct.
So circle back. It's exactly like what happened. It's just that now it's been reinforced that yes, that is him.
As Macy said, she did.
I feel like I had whiplash during this conversation because she was really like gung-ho defending him, but then at the end of the conversation, she's like, oh yeah, he does do that. And I'm like, so everything that I just said, you just tried to gaslight me and be like, oh no, he's not crazy. He's not insane. And then I'm like, but he's doing everything that you were just saying.
Oh, he do be doing that.
Hilarious.
Like, I'm like, what? I'm literally like, so we love him, but he's fucking insane is what I'm hearing.
That's just
Like, I don't want to go out on like a regular night and hear about this shit.
I feel like the phrase is now just gonna be like, that's just so
It's just, you know.
So I was on today, and there's a post from blah, blah, blah. They keep posting every day. Thank you. Thank you for supporting us. And somebody said, hello, chef. Made the best martinis. Did he return to your new staff? And I was like, he didn't. And then they said, no, he is not returning. We have different bartenders that will surprise you with how good their martinis are. And then somebody else also said, oh no, I was hoping was still there. He was the best and made the best martinis. So he is loved by all, it looks like.
I just don't get it. I'm just gonna be completely honest. Like, I feel like everybody at that that bar was under a spell. Like, I literally was like, I think me and my mother were the only two people that had like regular glasses on, and then everybody else had these fucking rose-colored lenses, and they did not see what we were seeing. And I feel like if Alysia nor anybody normal was there, they would have been like, what the actual fuck is going on? And everybody was just like, silly that just what?
It's the martinis.
What?
They were wowed by the martinis.
It is the martinis.
It's the martinis,
That's gotta
guys.
be it.
You gotta put something in there.
You guys need the
Like,
martinis.
you got like he's got like a
Were
little
you
love
drinking?
drug.
The real question is though, were you drinking martinis?
I was drinking wine.
So there you go.
I did not have the
didn't have
martini
the
lenses on.
Special. You didn't have the. You didn't have
I didn't
the
have the
martini.
There was a whole story she told us about the dating of the person who also worked there, and that was also confirming all of the things Macy was saying. It
I
was
feel like
just
she
insane.
confirmed everything, and then I was like, but wait, but like, why do you feel this way towards him? Like, why are we feeling the love on such a hard level? Like, why are we so quick to defend this man who literally trauma dumps on his customers who have never met him before? I don't get it.
I'm really here for this update. Thank you very much. Follow along for updates. I feel like this is like a new podcast I've been listening to called Serialously. And it's like killers. It's like, murder, but it's like done in like a news format, which I like. So she does updates. So it's like as the case unfolds, you get like new weekly updates. And I love it. I love that like you kind of keep coming back to the case as like something new comes on. And I just feel like we just did that with and I'm really here for it.
Well, speaking of updates, I'm not gonna lie. We have, remember how we told you guys, POI has been MIA, He's been gone. But guess what, guys? He reappeared yesterday, and it was actually juicy.
That did roll so smoothly right into the next update of the POI.
It was just so, there was so much happening. And
I missed it yesterday, you guys, and I can't wait to hear about it.
First of all, he pulls up with a roller backpack, like a kid who is in a high school who doesn't know that they shouldn't have a rolly backpack, but they do have a rolly backpack.
like 20 minutes late, rolly backpack, had to hit the train, doesn't have a car anymore.
He immediately walks in, yeah, my car exploded, so I take the train now. Oh, okay. What? Why?
Mind you, he had my original vehicle, a 99 Ford Ranger, because I recognized the car because I had it, and it was significantly old.
Yeah, so it blew up.
Yeah, my car
And
exploded.
my car exploded.
What?
First excuse, late train, roller bag, like he was moving in.
I really thought that he was gonna like park it in here and ask if he could like stay on the couch or something. Like,
So we hadn't seen him in a minute. So we were like hella like interested in updates. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I now need to like we now need to get some serious updates on your life because we haven't seen you in a minute and
Alicia did kind of pry a little bit.
I'm not gonna
Which
lie.
is so interesting because, like, in the past, she's like, don't talk to me, don't look at me, don't breathe the same air as me. And this time, she's like, so, what's going on with the girl? And I was like, oh my God, Alicia, okay.
Let's get down to the juicy nitty-gritty.
She wanted to know.
Do you still have a girlfriend? Are you still living with her? What's going on with that? We clearly see you don't have a means of transportation anymore. And he answered. He is still with girlfriend. We found out that they met on Facebook dating. Fascinating.
A year
place.
ago.
A year ago. They're coming up on their year anniversary.
Of Facebook dating.
Facebook dating. Then he says, no, they were going to move in together. Then she decided that that wasn't a good idea. So now he's renting a room, one singular room.
Question, though. I thought that they moved in together and then they didn't.
They did.
So this is the craziest part is that, like, do you think that she realized what a fucking weirdo this man is and was like, leave?
Well, she didn't dump him.
That is true.
She just said, take a step back. But like, how do you go about this? I mean, this is an honest question. How do you go about in a relationship going, this is going great, we are dating, then you spend all of your time together, then they move in, and then all of a sudden you're like, ooh, just kidding. You now need to move out.
I have a theory on this. I think that this fantasy that was created was because he had to get out of his other living situation in the BI, and he was literally just having like a transitionary period where she was allowing him to live with her while he was looking for another place.
And do you think in his head he thought it was like moving in, where in like her head it was just like, I'm just helping you?
Yeah. And then she was like, nah, bro, you need to like get a move on getting your own place. I feel like it
That's possible because he also was very like,
That could be very true. Just like how he said he is friends with one of our friends. Wink, wink.
he's an unreliable narrator.
And I'm pretty 100% factual that that's not true. So I think that like that could be 100% true. That like he just creates like a false reality in his brain. Well, moving on, he is now renting a room from someone, which I find so intriguing that that's a thing, because it's like a thing. I've listened to like other stories of other like people where they like were like, well, my kids had all moved out and I was alone and it was lonely, so I started renting out my rooms. Why? That just feels so strange to me.
You have to be like a really specific, certain person to, first of all, A, rent out your room, and B, rent out a room at a person's house. You know, like, to be like, oh, fuck it, we ball, let's live with this random bitch and rent out her room. Like, that is just, I could never do that. I am not a rent a room girly.
I mean, I just have so many questions. Do we have breakfast together? Is it joint TV time? Is there a common area? Like, is this like prison? Do you get 15 minutes worth of TV time and then I get 15 minutes worth of TV time?
My experience this summer, so I've never told you guys this, but this summer I was in California. I traveled to a lot of places and I rented a lot of Airbnbs, you know? All of them were fine. Private Airbnbs, whatever. Me and my sister go to San Francisco. We have an Airbnb. Nobody's there when we get there. We're like, oh, cool, great. I mean, all my Airbnbs I purposely rented privately. Turns out we like come back the next day. There's just people having breakfast in the kitchen in the morning. It's literally, like you said, they asked us if we wanted to join them for breakfast. They made pancakes. They have community TV time. Like, it was a whole fucking experience, guys. Like, when I tell you, me and my sister, like, we were baffled because they were chatting us up. Like, they have done this before. Obviously, they're the people that, like, rent out rooms to people. It was a bizarre experience because me and my sister, we were just like, we A, are hiding in the room, or B, we're going to be out. Like, it's just so uncomfortable. I just love to have my private space. Like, when there's a stranger in the house, it's weird. It's very uncomfortable.
Stay at a hostel.
Yeah, I just like there's just so many I have so many questions that are unanswered. So I feel like he has now become to me because I feel like we've moved from him stalking my life to him moving on to like other people. And now I feel like roles have reversed and now I'm just so intrigued by this
How
this
fucking
nomadic
things change, how the
lifestyle that
tables have
he's living.
turned.
I can't stop asking him very weird questions. And now
Because he's overshared so much that it's like
so much.
now you just like you feel like it's just normal to ask these questions.
So much. And he also interjects himself into conversations that I think anyone else would be like, that's fine, we're all talking. But for him, it feels
Don't do that.
invasive.
Who said that you could do that? Who said that you could join our conversation?
It
Nobody
feels like
did.
Immediately it was private and you were like, why were you listening?
Just exactly what happened yesterday. And it was like the first time that ever happened that I was like shocked that he joined our conversation. And honestly, I was like, in my head, I was like, can you please stop?
So I need to set the scene. So Macy and our other client, dog walker, FYI. So she has been in my home. She is intimately entangled with my family. Is getting her hair washed by Macy. They are at the bowl. They are further away. I am in the middle chair of our salon. I am now cutting his facial hair. So I am in his face. Like I am in his, I felt like you needed to know this because it really makes
She is
the
practically
difference.
breathing the same air as him.
We are centimeters away from each other's face, which does not help things. So Macy and Julie are having a very personal conversation about healthcare.
Mental health, healthcare, therapist. Like,
By the way, I wasn't even listening to it. I had no idea what they were talking about because I was focused on the fact that I am 2 centimeters away from this man's face. Trying so hard to just finish up the job so that I don't need to be 2 centimeters away from his face any longer. And all of a sudden, he joins in to their conversation.
I did not realize that he was listening until he started talking about it. And I was like, whoa.
Because we were talking about something else. Like me and him were having a conversation, ironically, about the barber across the street. So we were having a completely different conversation. So it wasn't like we weren't talking. And then all of a sudden it was like, he was like, perked up ears and just starts talking about their conversation instead.
We were literally talking about like the fact, first of all, I'm just going to preface this. I go to a primary care physician who is like pretty old and it's a man. And one of his main points in our conversation was that I need somebody who's younger and someone who's female. I think that, personal preference, but to be fair, like I agreed. I think, having somebody like that is very good, especially, advocating for specific things like mental health. And his ears at that comment, like being like talking about needing like a female like physician, he immediately was like, oh, I 100% agree. I only like to go to female doctors too.
I only see women for things.
Yes.
And it was such an off-putting comment.
It was, no, because me and immediately made eye contact and we were like, why?
Because one, of course you would, because you're in an entire establishment filled with women and you're a strange human. But that's not even, to me, that wasn't even the weirdest thing he said. It continued. Because
it was a jiggling comment that I didn't like.
That one went on. We'll get there. He also went with that he just, when he doesn't like the service at his doctor's office, he just stops paying the bill.
Yes.
So he goes,
he's like, oh yeah, I don't like the service. I immediately leave and I go find somewhere else. I'm like,
and then I just don't pay the bills anymore. And then I just stop paying for my insurance. And I said, yeah, that's not how that works. He goes, yeah, they've informed me recently that that's why my insurance lapses is because I just stopped paying for it because I didn't like the service anymore.
I think this is at the point that I blocked him out. I don't remember hearing this at all, but I definitely believe that this happened. I think that I blocked this entire conversation out.
In my head, I was like, are you 10? Are you a newborn who doesn't know how the world works? Yeah, that's not how it works. They will still find you to get payment. Then it continued.
Then at this point, I think like I was like when he joined in the conversation, I was pretty like close to being done with Julie. I think she was getting like a gloss.
He was getting gloss, so she had to
getting
wait.
gloss.
So,
Okay, so when I
so then I had to stop what I was doing with him to put on her gloss. So then Macy steps away, and now Julie wants her to make her appointment with said doctor. And so Macy goes to get her phone, sits down on the couch. I said, I have to step away from you really fast, check out your facial hair, make sure everything's good. Because, he likes to do that, looks at himself many times.
we start talking about physicals.
Yes. So I walk away, go get the gloss, put the gloss on. He then is very intrigued by her seeing an old man and is like, well, you're young. So he was probably like, talks now, he now makes it sexual. And that's when the one time in the entire time he was here, that he, of course, had to bring it back to him making something uncomfortable.
So we started talking about like the fact, I don't know how physicals came up, but we started talking about physicals and I was like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I like skipped my last physical. And then I was like, I'm gonna be honest, I think my last physical was like, I was like, it's like not even that big of a deal. I was like, they made me like touch my toes and run in place for like 2 minutes. And he was like, oh yeah, like he starts talking about it. Like we start making jokes, like whatever. Everybody's laughing about it. And he was like, yeah, he's just trying to see like what jiggles. And I'm like, oh my God.
And of course, I was very thrown off by that because what doctor is having her touch her toes and run around for 2 minutes is very strange anyways. That's not what a physical should entail.
I don't even know what a physical is, bro.
So what is this, the sit and reach at like the presidential in school? Like what is happening? But he took it to a level where then he made it uncomfortable.
It was uncomfortable.
And then I thought,
and I immediately
oh,
was just
God.
like, okay, I'm not even gonna acknowledge
I said,
that
oh,
comment.
God.
Because I was like, honestly, my doctor like is old, and as a man he is, he's actually a really good doctor. He's not like that at all. I would vouch for it like 110%. And I'm like, just the fact that you went there not knowing anything about like my like situation was just so fucking weird. I'm like, of course that's where your man brain would go.
I'm getting mommy issues from this. Like, I'm getting like, he craves all of this women attention and being around women. He has to be taken care of by women. And like, he doesn't trust men
It's
in
like
the
uncomfortable
situation.
though. Like I get like being taken care of, but like it's not even like it's like taken care of sexually. Like I don't
Oh,
even
that's
know.
the way he acts is just a different subject
Ugh, like I
altogether.
just it's like he can never be a normal human being.
It was weird. That's where he took it to the next level. And then I was like, I shut it down. I changed the topic. Well, I got him out of here because I was like, we're done now.
He
Wrap it up.
literally would
We're
not
done.
leave. Like he kept asking, like, "Oh, is this even?"
Are you sure? Can you come back and look at this just really fast and make sure this is just even? Are you sure it's even?
Looks at himself for like 5 minutes in the mirror again.
So the best part about it was he's done. He's wrapping up. And my next client is walking in. And it's one of my oldest clients that I have
Yes.
had. And she sees immediately who it is. And I wondered why she had walked around to like see us at the bowl and be like,
She was so ready for the goss.
she was trying so hard to make eye contact with us at the back of the house to say like, I see who's here. And I was like, would you like something to drink? She's like, yes. 100%. I would like a glass of wine immediately. And she gets a glass of wine and then was like, kind of like not knowing what to do with herself because his roller bag was still in the middle of the fucking room.
roller bag,
And,
guys.
like,
Why the fuck did he have a roller
um,
bag in the first place?
So then he leaves and we asked him, I don't know how he got on the topic of what he was doing next, but he was going to donate plasma.
He's like, yeah, I've been donating plasma for years. The amount of money that I could have for like $8,000 and I get $40. I'm like, first of all, you make like hella money like donating plasma. It's like, it's at least $80 each time. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Second of all, like, I think he really thought that like he was gonna get kudos for donating plasma. Like, I think he really wanted us to pat him on the back for it.
I did. I said, oh, that's great for you. And then he goes, yeah, you said congratulations for doing something good, but all he was doing was complaining about the money that he didn't have from it anymore. So he wasn't doing it to be like a
He's
good
doing
person.
it for the money, but then he's like, oh, but I still have no money. I'm like, yeah, because clearly you're not good at saving money. That's a you problem.
Well, you don't know how money works. We have learned that from your insurance talk. So then he bundles himself up in a jacket and then goes to sit outside on the bench for like what felt like eternity. So she was like, it was like seeing a gazelle in the wild. She goes, I can't believe I had a spotting. I can't believe I got to see him.
'Cause it's been a while. She was like, it's been a long time. I was like, everybody has kept saying that. They're like, it's been so long. I'm like, yeah, because he hasn't been in here. Like, this is the first like gazelle sighting in like literal months.
They crave it. This is how the day started with my first client. And she was like, oh, yeah, yeah, I know exactly who you guys are talking about. To cap it off, my last client of the day then tells us, oh, yeah, pretty sure he's been to my house to fix something for my husband.
She's like, I was like, I'm wondering who you're talking about. And then you said his name, and she was like, wait, like he's fixed at my house.
We've all had one of these unicorns in our chair, and they make for really great stories.
They're not unicorns. He's now referred to as a gazelle. It is now a gazelle. And
You know, he gives me the scaries, and I recently had the scaries, but it was a different kind of scaries. Have you guys ever heard of the Sunday scaries?
They are the worst.
I had the Sunday scaries this Sunday because, as we all know, it was St. Patrick's Day. And I did go to a bar crawl and I had the most amazing time. It was in Wrigleyville. I got really fucked up. I drank so much. I stayed out way, way longer than I should have. We went to the bar crawl and then I proceeded to go to 2 parties after the bar crawl. Yeah, it was a time. And then we all went to bed and I was feeling fine going to bed. And then I woke up at about 4 in the morning. And for some reason, it was like everybody on the planet who had celebrated St. Patrick's Day woke up at 4 in the morning because my sister woke up, my sister's roommate woke up, I woke up. My friends in other households woke up. They all said that they woke up at 4 in the morning. And I was like, oh, that's weird. But for me, it wasn't like, oh, I woke up because like I was just like not tired. It was like I woke up because I literally had to yak my brains out. And I proceeded to yak my brains out every like 20 minutes, not even, until like noon. It was god awful. I had the worst Sunday scaries. I had anxiety. I could not stop throwing up. I went and I Uber Eats or DoorDashed myself like just 7-Eleven so I could get like a Gatorade because I could not even keep down water. So I like DoorDash myself a Gatorade and ginger ale because I was like, maybe this will help. I literally go down the stairs. My sister lives in a 3-story like apartment building. Of course, she lives on the fucking top. And I go down the stairs. I was like, I don't know how. You know, like when you're so ill, like you don't even know how you're gonna like move like literally less than like 5 feet. So I go down the stairs. I'm already struggling. I'm walking outside to the gate to grab the Uber Eats. Then it comes to going back up the stairs. I'm literally like, going back up the stairs. Immediately I walk in the apartment and I run to the toilet and I yak. It was the worst Sunday that I've had in a really long time. It was really bad, guys. But we're feeling better now, and that's all that matters.
sounds like you created a lot of memories before that.
Oh, I did. I did. I had a great time. It was so much fun. Honestly, it was my first ever bar crawl that I did, but I would definitely do another one. It was so much fun. It was really expensive though. Like doing a bar crawl in the city, I didn't really register how fucking expensive that would be. Like literally, I ordered my friend and I 2 Vegas bombs, $35. $35.
It's the Red Bull. Like you guys are dodo birds for even ordering that in the city. Also, just an FYI on the Vegas bomb life. You're getting half the liquor for like shots. So like you should really not if you're trying to like tie one over, Vegas bomb is not the route to go.
They're yummy though, and they're easy to take.
So, but they're also insanely expensive because you're getting Red Bull, and Red Bull's always going to be expensive. And then 2, you're also getting quarter shots. Like they're doing half shots of all of that stuff. So it's just babies. It's baby shots and this, but like baby stuff.
Start with the tequila.
Honestly, I have not thrown up that. I really was starting to debate at a certain point. I literally was texting my boyfriend, and I was like, I think I might have like the stomach bug or something like that. I was like, I literally like, you know when you just like throw up to the point that like your body is like trying to throw up more, but like there was nothing more to throw up. It just kept being like that. And I was like, I literally just kept getting the feeling that I had to throw up, kept getting the feeling that I had to throw up. And I was like, I am just like, I am literally in hell because I was just hunched over the toilet. I had not slept a wink since 3 in the morning, actually. That's when I woke up. And oh my God, it was just god awful. I was like, I maybe need to retire from drinking. Not gonna happen. But at that moment, I was really thinking about it.
I have done where like I've drank water just so I had something to throw up because like you get to that point where you're like, ugh.
That's how it was. It literally was like I had to keep drinking water, and then I threw up again, and then it was finally when I got the Gatorade in my system. I was like, I don't know if I needed something like sugary with like electrolytes or something. It was finally I had to take very small sips when I started, and then like after like an hour of being able to keep it down, I could like start to be able to take like bigger like drinks and everything. But it was just oh my gosh, I was like, I literally feel like I haven't thrown up this much since I was like a kid and I had like the flu.
That sounds like a familiar spot I've been in before, for sure. I mean, you just got to go through those little moments. And then you learn, like what Alicia said, that you should actually be drinking because you probably also are having a negative food reaction. And that's what makes you vomit like that.
Or it's like all the sugar from everything you drank the night before, like all those vodka, Red Bulls, all the sugar and all that shit was like what you got, you say.
And I woke up at 4 in the morning because I also hadn't eaten anything. Like I'd only eaten breakfast, and this was another thing I talked to Alicia about. I didn't eat. And so I woke up and I was like, maybe my body's just hungry. So I ate a banana. Banana, so simple, so easy. It's like that's what you eat. Like it's just I had like a couple bites, immediately yacked it up, and I was like, yep, this night is not going how I thought it's gonna go at all.
Well, I hope it was just half a day wasted.
It happens. You live and you learn.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm still kicking now. It's like all worth it in the end. It's really
Memories.
I mean,
So
in the moment, it sucks. That's how everything is. In the moment, it fucking sucks. Like when you're diarrheaing on the toilet, it fucking sucks. But then, like, it passes, your butt feels better. It doesn't burn anymore. You feel fine. You're like, oh, it's fine. Everything's good. The world is good again, you know?
I wonder if Willow feels that way right now
Tell us about it.
because it was as you were waking up on Sunday morning to throw up, so was she. And it was like a
We
solid
mind melded.
it was.
Like,
Well, did you also throw up Friday night and Monday night in your bed so that I only have like a very minimal amount of sheets? I have two sets of fitted sheets and I have one mattress pad.
gotta up that shit. Gotta up it.
I am going to have to get more because it like keeps happening while she's sleeping at night. So that's what was happening.
That's always how it is. I remember some of my most worst memories of being sick as a kid is me waking up and literally projectile vomiting in my bed.
I was always the kid. I was literally telling somebody that I was the kid who would walk in to tell like my parents that I was getting sick and then throw up in their room or in their
I threw up.
yeah, or in the kitchen. I was like the kid who would walk into the kitchen like I don't feel that and then like throw up like in the kitchen.
See, I was the kid that like slept in my mom's bed for years, and so like I wasn't projectile vomiting in my bed. I was like sitting up projectile vomiting in her bed.
Oh my
Like it was like I feel like I traumatized the shit out of my mom with like my throwing up because I was like a kid that like frequently got the
Oh,
flu.
100%.
And I got it bad. I didn't just get like the stomach bug where like you don't feel good. I got it like bad with like throwing up. Like you are on the bathroom floor because like you can't even like reach up to get your cup of water because you're so weak and frail and just like I'm like haven't eaten anything in days.
Story of my life. Then you add to me, I'm a sleepwalker. So every time.
Oh my God.
Every
Oh
time I
my
got sick,
God.
I would sleepwalk and then I would do really weird ass shit with my sleepwalking because I was sick. So
Oh, would it make
then,
like would it trigger your sleepwalking?
yes, a fever does.
I
It still
always
does.
it's
to
like
this day.
fever dreams and stuff.
Still does. So I would do the weirdest shit when I was sick. So then my mom would be like, "What the fuck is going?" I tried to flush my shoes down the toilet. I tried to leave the home, like bundled up, teddy bear and all, winter jacket, walk out the house. My mom was like,
trying to flush
"Stop."
your shoes.
Yeah, trying to
I'm
flush
still
my
stuck
shoes.
on that one.
Yeah. I did a lot of really weird things. Yeah, I haven't done it in a long time, but I kind of thought I would have probably heard like a story or done something when I had like COVID. Do you know what I mean? Or like a high fever. But Luke sleeps so soundly that I don't think like he would have
he a
even known I
heavy-ass
like did
sleeper?
anything. Oh yeah, he's like dead. So it would be just me waking up in whatever weird position or thing I would have done.
You're gonna need to put a gate on the stairs.
Scary, because she's gonna fall down the stairs.
So, but yeah, like it is sleepwalking is it's very strange. My like college boyfriend found me like doing like some really weird stuff. I was like in our like basement room in front of like sitting in front of the like heater, and it would like turn on and the fire would just like turn on. I was just like sitting in front of it, and he was like,
That's fucking scary, Alysia. Like, that's not even like, oh, I'm sleepwalking. It's like you're in your basement room in front of, like when I tell you that is like what nightmares are made of.
100%. I was like a creepy kid. I was like the weird kid who was like doing shit on top of being sick.
No, but like I am a person that like I hate scary shit. I hate paranormal shit. I hate scary shit. That is giving paranormal and I don't fucking like it. I don't like it at all.
Sleepwalkers do weird stuff.
I'm thankful that mine is only when I'm sick. It's only when I have a fever. So I'm really lucky that like it's not something that was like an everyday or like a, when I was high stress.
I just get the dreams.
Yeah.
I get the heavy, intense dreams, which I always have anyway. But Willow was not having any of that. She was throwing up, and then we would get her down, and then she would like roll into like a weird bronchitis thing that I've been keeping an eye on. And so it was just a weird roller coaster of the weekend. But I did get my nails done.
I did see. And I do like.
Why?
And I also got acupuncture.
Oh, so things couldn't have been that
Look
bad.
at you.
I'm just
Like in the midst of the chaos.
so like things
So
were
basically,
great.
you were
Things great.
fine. You were fine.
Saturday morning, I had pre-planned because I had a class. I also had a workshop on Friday night that I did. But Willow was only throwing up Thursday night, so I thought it was like an indigestion thing. And then Friday, I was like, oh, well, she's home with me anyway on Friday. So we were just going about our day, and she was like a little lethargic. And then Saturday morning, I was like, she doesn't look like she's feeling 100%, but I was still getting my fucking nails done and getting acupuncture.
Well, yeah, as you should. You got to put yourself first.
And then things, happen. Also, Yancey's finally came and we got our new carpet stair update. Very exciting day. He was fucking yapping it up with Polly the entire time I was getting my acupuncture. Was there with me, laying next to me.
While they were replacing the carpet that had gotten paint previously spilled upon it?
Wait, so you have to get it replaced because you were never able to get the paint out?
From second 4, when it happened, the paint was never coming out of the carpet.
Oh, I thought that you said like you were able to shop vac it out.
No, I shop vaxxed the can out of the stairs, and then the rest just stained the shit out of it immediately. We needed to anyway because the previous owners, like dogs, had fucked up the carpet. It was old carpet. But yes, this was going on. And then Bruce, who was our carpet guy, he was just yapping it up. And I'm laying in there with Alice with the needles in. Apparently I was so zoned out this time. That was such a great session. And I'm over here listening to Polly talk to Bruce about Rory McIlroy and asking, they're talking about Tiger Woods. And I'm like, can you just get back to hammering into the stairs?
I think I need some acupuncture.
It was great. It's very resetting. I love to do it. I was doing it for multiple reasons. He was very jazzed. He was especially jazzed up about my broken toe because it was on the same channel that he was like trying to work at. So we were working on a bunch of different things, but it was great. I did love it, even though the golf talk. And surprisingly with Bruce, like he was hammering in the stairs. It was still very relaxing.
Oh yeah, those mallets are very interesting. Like the mallets used for
like it was almost like a drum circle.
Next up at Little Fern, drumming circle.
Also, we've heard that because people love our podcast so much, that people want to send in like questions or comments or things like that. And I really think that this should be a thing because I really do enjoy when people like read out stuff on their podcast from like listeners. I think it's really cool. So if you're listening, send that shit in. You have our social media. You have it all. You have probably their numbers at this point.
Yes, I would love a little Q&A. We're also going to start with a guest or two. Be our guest, be our guest.
Be our guest. Come on down to the test. I don't know exactly how it goes. Yeah. You know.
Wow.
I think we have like a couple guests that we already know that are going to participate.
If you do feel like you would contribute in a funny manner, do so. I think that'd be fun.
And we already did get a request today. Somebody put in a request.
Love it. I do love it. I love that it's picked up steam. I do love that people are talking about it when they come in and that they have been listening, and I really appreciate that. We all do. We like that you guys are enjoying it.
I don't know who said it, but the podcast was also being talked about today a lot.
That's also what we get for like talking about it more too. I think because like we like say like, oh, like this is something we talked about on the podcast, and then some people are like, oh, like podcast, you guys have talked about this. How do I like get to this podcast? What's it called? And then there's people who have past said this and now have henceforth and listened to it. And then today, when Nora's client was really just talking about all the stories and things that she liked, and I was like, I just love that you're able to like bring up stories that we have talked about in the past, because like I know that you're paying attention, and that's what I love even more, that you're actually like listening. You're not just listening to listen to just like support us. You're listening because like you actually like to listen to us.
We're trauma bonded.
She loved my little fucking fall when I ate shit on the floor. I was like, I'm so glad that you loved that, because like that was a moment. I was like literally where one of your clients were standing today. I was like, that's where I ate shit. So you are literally standing on history right now.
Standing on his. We should make a plaque.
A plaque on the floor. She's like a star, you know, like that they have on like the boulevard.
Yes,
you know?
yes. Macy's Fall. Macy's Fall.
You really liked it, and I was like, you know what, that gives us hope though for the future, that like maybe we won't be as small. Like maybe we'll be like just like a small medium podcast where people listen to us. Schmedium, you know?
We will have graduated.
I really feel
We'll
important.
become a schmedium.
It made me feel like important. I was like, I feel like a celebrity.
Don't look
Like,
at
oh
me
my
now.
gosh, don't look at me.
Buzz really treating the stories like they were like going to win awards.
Maybe that's what happened. Maybe he recognized me and was too afraid to ask for my autograph, and so instead started a rage fight with me.
It's like he felt that like you should have acknowledged him.
Maybe you should have thought like, you know, I'm a listener and you should you should know who a listener is, and I'm just kidding. Oh man, do you guys ever have like where you're at an airport and you guys are all really tired and you guys should have been on the plane like, oh, I don't know, something like 6 hours previously. And so you guys are all a little buzzed up because you're all ready to get on the airplane. And if you're on Southwest, you're getting corralled together by your numbers and your letters and when to get on. And so you guys are all waiting very patiently and nicely. And somebody's always got to be the person who like pops off.
There's always like one person that pops off. Like you usually like see a fight break out and you're never like a part of the fight. But then there's the moment when you are a part of the fight and you're like, what the fuck?
Like, I didn't ask for this life. I was the epitome of minding my own business. I had my beats on. I was on my phone. I was picking out my book that I was reading. Like, I was literally minding I was in my own business. And then something happened further away from us because I don't want to call them stewardess. They're like the airport personnel, like the people that work for Southwest, but the people at the airport. So they come up to this girl with her roll bag and say, you have to check that. And it's of course the size, which by the way, Southwest has changed their rules. This is me having beef with Southwest. And I like understand it, but don't understand it, because now all of a sudden they've changed their like rules, because I guess everyone and their mother was trying to bring their fucking house on the airplane, like their pillows, their fucking blankets, their fucking like purses on top of their bags. So the problem's becoming that people like don't put that shit away before they like, yeah, I'm like,
You're like an idiot. Like, were you born yesterday? Who fucking raised you? Who did not give you proper airport etiquette?
the same person who like doesn't know how to pay their insurance bills. So the issue is becoming that people are bringing too much shit with them. They're not understanding the rules of like you get your personal item and your carry-on. So Southwest has really been hammering down, and like people were doing personal item, then two carry-ons, then my purse, then my bag of like fucking Buffalo Wild Wings, then my fucking neck pillow, then my, it was getting out of control. And I respect that they had to be like, no, bitch, dial it back. So in that end, I get it. But now, like with anything, when they're trying to enforce new rules, they do kind of get a little hammery, like they're really like, nope, nope, nope. And then they say it over the announcements like 30 fucking times because, of course, excuse me, no one listens the first time. So then they keep repeating it and they keep repeating it and they keep repeating it. And then finally somebody for the 30th time was like, wait, what? I can only have 2 carry-ons? And they have their 6 carry-ons on them. So anyways, back to my story. That's my rant. Sorry, fuck you, Southwest. You pissed me off. They have no direct flights to anywhere. There's one flight out a day to everything. They're fucking, like, it's just garbage. It's flying is garbage right now. So that's me filing my complaint. Really jams my Glock. So there's a girl, her bag is clearly the size that is, the size that you can check. Does this fit into the overhead? I can bring it on. And they say, no, you have to check it. And she kind of goes, she wasn't putting up a fight. She was just like, that's strange. I've literally brought it on my entire trip to and from multiple places. Never had a problem. Don't really understand why I have to check it now. She brings it up to the little sign thing, and it maybe goes over like one of the tiny little wheel bearings, like looks like it might hit the line. I mean, we're talking like not even nothing. Like we're all watching this now because we're all ready to get on the plane. It's like 9 hours later. We're tired. We're all still stuck there. So she of course is like, really? And like the girl's like, it doesn't fit. So, and is like kind of really shitty with her, like really short, really shitty. So she goes to check her bag. Well, that immediately kind of signifies to everyone else that they're now looking at their bags. You know how that is? Like when one person now gets checked, everyone else is like, oh shit, my bags don't fit. My bag's her size. Like, what are we all going to have to, like, we haven't even started boarding yet. So then every person's now like, fuck. So I'm not near Luke because Luke is A1. He's always A1. I'm like his companion. So of course I'm like wherever the fuck they put me in the lineup. So I'm like further back. I'm still in the A's, but I'm like, way back. And in front of me is this gangly tall child. I say child, but honestly, he's probably Macy's age. Honestly, I have no idea recollecting ages at this point, but he looks very young. So then he's very tall. I'm talking like 6 something, 6'5", 6, like he's very tall. And then his really short girlfriend is standing in front of him. She's the one who has the 2 bags. She has the same size roller bag that the girl who was told she has to check it is. And then she has a massive duffel. I'm talking not a personal size. I'm talking a huge duffel bag that is plopped over the, what I'm talking about, hanging on top of the roller bag. But is so fucking large. That bitch doesn't go underneath in front of your feet. And you also know that I don't even think it's going to fit above. Like, that's how big this thing is. So immediately he sees that, like, this girl had to check hers. And he starts popping off to his girlfriend because he is in alert now that they're going to check theirs. Who fucking cares?
The thing is, I get that it's inconvenient, but at the same time, we've all been on a flight where, like, say the overhead compartment is full and you have to check like your bag. I mean, it sucks that you have to like wait for your bags after, but at the same time, at that point, it's free too. So it's like, it's not that it's like that big of a deal. They're not charging you for it. Like they're just doing their job.
Yes. And at this point, we all just want to get on a flight. We need to get on this flight. before our pilot can no longer pilot the plane because we are on time. And if he goes over his time, we cannot get onto this plane. We cannot go home. Like there was so many crunch time things happening at this time because it had been so long for our flight being delayed. So I'm like, y'all just motherfuckers keep your mouth shut. If they tell you to check your bag, check your bag. Get on the plane. I need to go home.
I don't care if you need to like fucking donate blood, get on the fucking plane.
Get on the fucking plane. We are all getting on the plane. So I'm like overhearing this conversation. But again, I have my headphones on so I could see that he's getting real rattled and he's being loud, clearly loud enough for it to go through my headphones. And it is, bet. They better not fucking want to check my bag. Oh, we're going to have a problem. We're going to have a real fucking problem. You know who's good? They're going to have to carry me off this flight. They're going to have to get the cops. Oh, I hope they say something to me. And he's getting louder and louder and louder and drawing attention to himself at this point. And his girlfriend is like this short little girl and she's like, just please stop. It's not that big of a deal. And he's like, well, it's not going to be a big deal because he's not taking shit from me. They have to pry it from my cold, dead fucking hands. And I'm thinking,
This is dramatic.
It was a straight up tantrum. He was
My
throwing a
gosh,
tantrum. No one
it's
even
wild.
looked at him, walked up to him, said anything to him, looked in his general direction, and he was already having a meltdown. Already. He had spiraled. He had brain spiraled, and he couldn't control himself. And then he happens to turn around, and I'm below him because this man is like 6-something. And so he looks over at me and goes, what are you looking at? To me. Yes.
He did not.
Yes. So I'm sorry. I was set the fuck off. That was it.
Rightfully so, though.
That's all it took. I felt like now I'm the old lady. Now I'm the angry old lady who was like, first of all, you better not be talking to me. Second of all, I'm sorry. Did I just hear you correctly? I was the epitome of minding my own business. And I literally, when you just speak without thinking? Well, that's what I did. And I literally said to him, I don't know, looking at an entitled little brat who looks like he hasn't gotten his ass kicked recently.
As you should, though. Like, you were humbling him. He deserved to be humbled.
And I don't think he was prepared for that, to be honest. I don't think he was prepared for the rebuttal. And it stunned him. He didn't say anything.
Ready to be the one to
His
fight.
girlfriend whipped her little head around and kind of looked at me. Everyone around us, I think, was like stunned for a moment. And then was kind of like, where's this going to go? And then he started like kind of pushing her forward and was like, I'm just not dealing with this bullshit. And then kind of like goes right back into his tangent. Doesn't say anything to me anymore.
He, like, have to check his bag, though. Like, I need to know.
He did not. So all of that spiraling was for fucking nothing. So he get on. So he keeps checking me from behind, keeps checking me. I sit down, meet up with Luke, and Luke immediately goes into, hey, did you hear about that girl who had to have her luggage checked? Because, of course, he was right there in the front witnessing the whole thing. And I said, oh, my God, listen to this kid who just fucking, like, jacked off at me in the front. And he was like, where? And I said, oh, the one who keeps turning around. Because, he's like 7 feet taller than everyone else. And he's still turning around in front, like 2 feet away from us, looking at me. Just keeps turning around looking at me. Well, now it set Luke off because I told Luke the story. Now Luke's like, he said that to you? So Luke's immediately ready to get up in the middle of the flight and have words with this kid. I said, no, I handled it. I felt like I was fine. I handled myself. We didn't have any issues after that. He really didn't say anything else to me. I think he was more concerned that I was going to like force him to have his bags checked and there'd be like this issue. And I just want to get home. I'm trying to get home. I don't want to deal with you snarky child. I don't care. I was surprised that they didn't make them check their bags. So it gets better because we sit on the plane for 2.5 more hours. We get off the plane and I have to pee and I'm walking to the women's bathroom. We wait 2 bathrooms, like it's a bathroom and then there's a bathroom, but everyone was using the one bathroom. I wait to go to the second bathroom. Guess who's walking out of the men's bathroom at that exact moment? This little man. So Luke goes, perfect timing, and walks right up to him. And the sheer panic on this kid's face was priceless because I think he clearly put 2 and 2 together now that this man belonged to me and that he now was going to have words with him in a bathroom at Midway and was very nervous about said words that were going to be spoken to him. I was like, oh God. I was like, Lucas, leave it alone. And I just went to the bathroom.
I want to know so badly what he said to him.
I really didn't. I was so tired. It was like 4 a.m. I was literally like, I just want to go home. I walked out of the bathroom. Kid was gone. Luke was standing there waiting for me with a smile on his face. And I just thought, did he murder him in the bathroom? And anyway, is this poor child murdered? And he said, well, I don't think he'll be doing that again to anyone. And I just was like, oh God. But the thing was, he was very disrespectful. I got caught off guard by the fact that he even thought to talk to me to begin with in his spiral that was happening in his brain. And I honestly think that I was really thrown off by whoever raised him. Was he raised by the streets? Because who would raise somebody to talk to people in that manner?
It's giving entitled. He's very entitled.
I was just so shocked. I was thrown to think that you could talk to anyone like that. And by the way, he really wasn't even talking to anyone until he just decided that I was the person closest to him to get frustrated with.
So what does he expect? Him yelling and making a stink. People are going to look. It would be a completely different situation if you had butted in and you'd said something. You looking at him while he's throwing a tantrum, completely justified. So whether you were looking at him or not it's not the problem at all. It's the problem that the fact that he just got so involved in you looking. It's even if you were looking, you are the reason. What are you looking at? Literally the fact that you're throwing a fucking tantrum. I don't know. Crazy idea.
It was wild. I'm not gonna lie. I was very thrown. I really feel more and more recently, I have noticed these trends of children being real out of pocket. It also happened while we were in Belize. There was these kids that came into the pool with a football. They just started throwing the football around, being super disrespectful. Their parents were right there.
It's one thing to have the football and go into an area and throw it and be very respectful. It's another thing to just throw it and fucking lob it towards people.
And the one kid kept being why are you guys so afraid just to throw the football? Throw the football. Everyone will be fine. No, they're not, because you guys, one, suck at throwing the football, and so you guys keep missing, and then hitting people, hitting things, getting it out of the pool. You guys are not good. First of all, second of all, this is not spring break. That you are at a place that is majority of older people. And by the way, if you accidentally hit somebody in the face with your football, come on now. And I honestly, I was very caught off that the parents didn't say anything and were just allowing it to happen.
It's the same thing with this kid. It's probably you can just tell the way that they were brought up and the kind of parents that they are. It's very telling of how the kids are acting and how the parents are acting.
It was wild. Then what was crazy at the resort, sorry to bring into a whole nother topic of conversation, the guys lit up 2 cigars. So they said, oh, fine, we'll just light our cigars. The wait staff, the resort staff, brought them cigar ashtrays. And then the mom had the balls to be well, it's not really, I would prefer if they didn't smoke cigars at the pool. Luke said, I would prefer if your kid didn't chuck a fucking football at my head.
Actually say that?
Yes. So, I mean, it became like a thing where we were like, are you shitting me? Like, so your kid can horseplay in the pool and one, ruin somebody's drink. Like, they knocked somebody's drink. No one even said sorry. Like, and then you have a problem when we all of a sudden move to one area and then light up a cigar.
Well, it's also one thing if it was like an actual like policy at like the resort or the place that you're staying at. If they're bringing you ashtrays, it's clearly more than fine. If you don't like that, that sucks. Move to a different area then. Simple as that.
Luke was like, I wouldn't have done it until your kid brought a football to the pool. Now I don't really give a fuck. Like, I mean, honestly, like, what is happening? I've always just been like be respectful, like, give the respect that you would like to receive. The problem is they were not being respectful, so therefore they were not going to get respect back. So it's like now we're getting into like a whole, like, however, treat people the way you would like to be treated. And
Have the day you deserve.
to wrap it up nicely, we love that everyone has been coming in lately with a good vibe, a happy.
And shouting out our podcast and our socials.
Yes, please like us, follow us.
Keep it up. Give us reviews, please. We need good reviews.
Hit that follow, really just like, review us. I mean,
Interact with us. Give us the love that we deserve.
hit us up with some questions. Also, just, really enjoy the spring that's coming. Isn't it first day of spring?
Yeah.
Yay.
Don't forget your jacket. Don't forget to finish that drink.
Yes, whatever that drink may be today.
Before you start driving.
I'm on to the bubbly now. Have a wonderful one.
Bye.
Bye.
It's Nora, Alysia, and Macy.
We are a girly podcast and we are on the floor.
Did I go the wrong way?
You definitely did.